100 years, none of us is ever gonna we're all gonna be dead. I'm like super fascinated with like the universe and like just how large it is, and it's like infinite. Like our universe is like a grain of salt, a grain of sand, and then
In a beach.
in a beach.
Ocean.
Yeah, something like that, where it's like, bro, it's infinite. And then we're here talking about like bills and I want to drive this car and I want to get this promotion. Or no one gives a fuck. And we'll all be dead if there's like a raffle and everybody put their worst problems in the raffle. From, let's say, anybody in the city or in the world. Would you draw from that raffle knowing that you could have some of the issues that some other people have, where, let's say, and then this could be from not just the US, but from all over the world. Would you participate and trade your issues for somebody else's issues? And you don't know what their issues could be.
After you showered, have you noticed how you dry yourself?
Yeah.
You ever notice that it's I don't know about you, but for me it's the same way every single time?
Sure, yeah.
You see how like automatic your body's
yeah.
just like that muscle memory, just kind of like, okay, I dry here, and then I do this leg, and then maybe I do my back, and then my head, and then down. When you have a system in place, like, okay, like I wake up and I know I have to brush my teeth, I have to do my hair, I have to wash my face, I have to do this. And I think that's what I'm trying to figure out, the system of life, essentially, where it's unscripted. It's kind of hard. I feel like we're all doing the best that we can. I like to think.
Yeah.
Right? It's the first time that we're all doing life.
Yeah.
And like, you know how you have people giving you advice, you have people giving you their experience, but it's not gonna be the same for everybody.
Sure. All right. What the heck is going on? I like your outfit. Taking us back to stroll down memory lane. How's it going?
Welcome back to an episode of Still the Coffee Breakup. There's been a lot. Life is lifing. I think that's what we had talked about last time. Life is still lifing.
Yeah.
It's just part of it, man.
I guess the biggest thing is like we're finally back. Until the next thing happens.
For now.
But yes, things happen. We haven't been able to record in a while, actually. And so I don't know if you want to dive into that. You want to give a little bit of detail?
No, I mean, without giving too much of unnecessary information, this space had to be on pause for a second as we had other things that were going on. I'm hoping that everything is working. I hope the microphones are working. I hope the cameras are working. But just like the episode we shot when we were here, that's kind of what life is all about. Sometimes you're not ready. Sometimes nothing is perfect, but it all comes down to taking action and doing it. That's kind of what we're doing right now. So this is, I guess you can call it another test. But in life, that's what it's all about, right? Yeah. Just making sure that, there's a lot of tests that you have to overcome.
It's been an adjustment, man, and like it sucks. It's I know, like we try to find time wherever. People are like, hey, you still have the podcast, you're still doing this, and we've devoted so much time and energy into this. It's like, yeah, we obviously had life threw a couple curveballs at us, but I think here we are, and I'm hoping that we can change the trajectory a little bit.
And I think I want to start this episode by asking you, what do you do when you don't know what to do?
In terms of what?
Life.
What do I do when I don't know what to do? Good question.
Like, I asked because, for instance, you had a child.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at one point you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I think this is almost like a metaphor for everything in life, because imagine at one point we were talking about, like, well, what do we talk about moving forward? Do we still talk about relationships? And to a certain degree, like, I would like for it to be a little bit more broad. Yeah. But I also see our lives or our relationship with ourselves as a constant development, as something constantly new. For instance, like, we're married now, so there's like a lot of things that we're learning about marriage and what makes a healthy marriage. I still have people asking me about relationship advice. And like, I'm not perfect, but it kind of was the niche that we started to talk about, like relationships in Miami. What do things mean? And we got to the point that we're like, oh, this is just starting to feel a little bit redundant for us because we talk about it all the time.
So much, 5 years.
But maybe whoever's tuning in is listening to us for the first time, and now we're married men. We graduated.
Yes, we did.
Right from the first, when I was single, to dating, to getting a girlfriend, getting engaged, married, a child. Crazy. But in life, there's always things that we don't know what to do. So I just think, when you don't know what to do, what is it that you do?
I think you just got to roll with the punches, man, because I think the more I kind of go through life and the more I work and I see other people, I feel like a lot of people, they just, I don't want to say you bullshit things. You just kind of, like, I feel like we have so many crazy expectations of others and we think like everybody has it figured out. And I come to the realization that I'm 33. No one has it all figured out. It doesn't matter if you're a banker. It doesn't matter if you're a manager, if you're a director, or if you're an executive. If I see sometimes I see people in our political office, people just bullshitting things, like just winging stuff, like, and these people make decisions for so many people. And so at any uh, chapter in life, I think there's so many people that don't know what the hell is going on, and they just kind of like take things as they come and roll with the punches and figure things out. And I think that's kind of answers your question, and also kind of just how we go about life. But we feel like we have to have an answer for everything because that's what it's supposed to be. Like, says who? Who says everything? You're supposed to have everything figured out when it comes to home ownership, relationships,
children,
parenthood, life, trying to become a better person, doing this. Like, we think we're supposed to have it all figured out, so we put these crazy expectations upon us, and then you wonder why you don't succeed. You make up these own type of scenarios and these own kind of goals and how life is supposed to look like at the age that we are. And honestly, bro, like me as being now a dad, my son's about to be a year, which is crazy. And sometimes I just try to like focus on what I have right in front of me, which in my case, a lot of times is my child, my wife. And I'm just trying to be a good person and enjoy the moment that I have, because nothing's guaranteed. So I don't have it all figured out, man. A lot of shit I don't. I'm still trying to figure things out. And so many moving parts. I can't control everything, man. But I can control this moment right there that I have with whoever's in front of me. In this case, it happened to be you. So that's kind of what I think.
Being present.
Being present, because you can plan, you can hope for everything. You can do X, Y, and Z and hope you get it all done. But it's like, and then life happens.
Yeah,
when
does anything go according to plan?
Exactly. And then it's like, okay, like, what now? So I guess it's a little bit of beauty of not having it all figured out, because it's like you can adjust. Because if you have it all figured out and then inevitably something goes wrong, you're like, well, what am I going to do? I had thought this and this and this. This was my plan. So sometimes, you just got to stay on your feet and see where life takes you.
That's very well said.
What do you think?
I think, yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, you should have, I think, systems.
Yeah.
Or like certain behaviors in play.
Sure. 100%.
Like, I just got a promotion right now, and when I put my little manager cap on and I start thinking about, like, well, how do I talk to people to have them buy in, right? And ultimately, it all comes down to having a system in place or having some sort of process or behavior for you to do. So, for instance, it's easy for us to wake up and maybe you shower in the morning. I don't shower in the morning. I shower at night. But you brush your teeth. And I don't know, have you ever, for instance, like, after you showered, have you noticed how you dry yourself?
Yeah.
You ever notice that it's I don't know about you, but for me, it's the same way every single time?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You see how, like, automatic your body's just like that muscle memory, just kind of like, okay, I dry here, and then I do this leg, and then maybe I do my back, and then my head, and then down. No?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I think of is when you have a system in place, like, okay, like I wake up and I know I have to brush my teeth, I have to do my hair, I have to wash my face, I have to do this. I have to make coffee for Christina before I leave.
Sure.
It's a system, right? So if things don't go according to plan, there's at least some sort of system that we can fall back to. Yeah. And I think that's what I'm trying to figure out, the system of life, essentially, where it's unscripted. It's kind of hard. I feel like we're all doing the best that we can, I like to think, right? And it's the first time that we're all doing life. Yeah. And like, you have people giving you advice, you have people giving you their experience, but it's not going to be the same for everybody. Sure, we all come from different places, different, not just places physically, but also, like, maybe it's a different country altogether. Maybe we have language barriers. Maybe we have expertise on certain things that others don't. Maybe we're blessed because of our skin color in certain areas where racism still exists, It's things like that where there's certain blessings, but at the end of the day, I just think overall, you have to have something that kind of is like, I guess, like a guide in your life of you wanting to be a good person. I think a lot of people use faith as some sort of like system, right? I'm not so big in religion. I'd like to consider myself as a moral person, someone who cares about others.
Sure.
Does that align me closer to a higher power based on my beliefs and how I go about things? I don't know. But I feel like some people, maybe they rely on their faith and
Sure.
what they learn and what they practice in their religion in order to be a better person. It's just a question that I thought of because, like, for instance, like, you know, we wanted to record for so long here. We wanted to change so many things about the podcast. We wanted to change the and at the end of the day, it's like we still don't have it all figured out.
No, we don't.
Then I just think of like all these people that are out there that they probably compare themselves to others that are already established.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or you know, you see someone that has it figured out, or they're probably just lying, right, and making it seem like they are. And then you look at them like,
facade,
look at what they, it's a facade, and it becomes frustrating because you almost feel like you're a step behind, and then that starts affecting you and all these things. So it's just tough because we all want to do the best that we can, but sometimes we feel like it's still not enough.
For sure.
Yet,
it's tough, man. You never know what somebody else is going through in the position that they're in. So
their background,
their background. There was this. I don't know if you've ever seen this, and I don't know if we can throw it on. There's like there's always somebody out there who wishes that they had the life that you had, or the problems that you had. I saw something. Somebody was like, "Oh, if there's like a raffle and everybody put their worst problems in the raffle from, let's say, anybody in the city or in the world, would you draw from that raffle knowing that you could have some of the issues that some other people have, where
like trade my issues for
somebody else's issues? Would you do that? Let's say, and then this could be from not just the U.S. but from all over the world. Maybe someone doesn't have access to food, water, shelter. Maybe they've lost, their health is a concern, family members. They're grieving somebody that they've lost. X, Y, and Z, a million different things. So the question is, now throw your issues in the mix. Would you participate, trade your issues for somebody else's issues? And you don't know what their issues could be. So I saw that and I'm like, that's a good way of putting it. Because I have issues and I have problems, blah, blah, blah. But would I want to trade my problems for somebody else's problems?
What a blessing to have this problem.
Somebody, my problems are somebody's goals that they wish they had, or somebody's blessings. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different perspective, or it's like it's like a video or like a photo of somebody where it's like, you're stuck in traffic and you're like, I don't know if you're.
Or it's like the guy, it's a guy like on a helicopter.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I wish I had a helicopter. I'm stuck in this car. And then the guy's like on a bicycle, and he's like, man, this guy's got a car. I gotta be on a bike. The guy's walking. And he's like, man, this guy's got a bike, and I'm here walking. Some guy is in a freaking wheelchair, and he's like, man, if only I could walk.
Exactly. Yeah. Think about that.
It's true.
Like we'll sit in traffic and we're like, man, fuck, I hate this traffic.
I'm there stuck in traffic, and it's like let's in your thing. I trade it.
Yeah.
And I'm in a wheelchair.
What are you doing? Like, no, fucking, I'll stay in traffic, dude. I go fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up, but it's think about that. So it's hard in the moment when you're like, oh, damn, I just obviously I wish I could just be at home. But X, Y, and Z, like you think about that and you're like, man, like, am I really complaining about my issues? My first world problems that I have, like, oh, I got to go to work. I don't want to go to work, but you're blessed to have a job. So many people are getting laid off. AI, fucking, you don't know what happens. So many people are out of a job or struggling, and like your struggles are not somebody else's struggles. You know what I'm saying? Like your issues are whatever the case may be. Oh, fuck, I got to go to work. Or, oh my God, we're recording and tired. Somebody wishes that they had what we have. It doesn't feel like it sometimes, right? You're like, oh, but it's true. No, I mean, am I wrong? I mean, it is. So, actually, I'm glad we're talking about this. Makes me feel a lot better about my situation. But yeah, man, I think we're all trying to figure it out. Depending on whatever stage you're in, So it's just, I mean, we're blessed. There's no other way of putting it, dude. You just bought a beautiful house. You have a beautiful wife. You guys are healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you have a good promotion.
Grass, right?
It's healthy grass. Healthy grass. Very
lawn
good.
has been catered to.
Yes, exactly. Do you have a grass that you can care for?
Sure.
Your issues are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's it's sad because I think of it almost on a mental health aspect of how much we self-sabotage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're always like introspective of thinking like, oh, if only I had this, or what if I had that, or it's like you're here now. Like this is what you have right now. What can you control? It's not the future. You don't know what's gonna happen. The past already happened. So it's like you can only control what your situation is right now.
Sure.
So I feel like a part of it is being able to endure and even to suffer to a certain degree. Because there is a lot of suffering that comes with life. It's not all, and you're probably thinking suffer like, oh my God, it has to be the worst case scenario. But it's like, nah, man, being stuck in traffic, sometimes you feel like you're suffering. You're like, dude, if only I can get to work on time. There's an accident. Now there's even more traffic that I didn't anticipate this morning. Now I got to deal with this shit. But it's like in life, everything needs a bit of suffering for you to learn what it is to be patient.
Sure.
What it is to be grateful. What it is to be appreciative of the things that you do have.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being given to you. And then it's like, what appreciation do you have there? I look at, my backyard. It's funny as we talk about the grass. But I put in podocarpus. So it's like those privacy hedges that are all the way in the back.
Yeah.
And I could have paid someone to do it. And in fact, it probably would have been easier for sure. We would have to pay for it. But like I look back at the podocarpus that my father-in-law and I put up. Mm-hmm. And there's times that I just stand outside and I'm just looking.
Of course, admiring
of how like, man, like I did that. And it was like hours because it was right along the hedge, right along the fence. Who knows what other plants were there? We had to go through so many roots and it's like, whatever. Like I'm here complaining about putting hedges in my backyard of my house in a beautiful neighborhood that I'm blessed to be a part of. My family is like 5 minutes away. Her family's 5 minutes away. And I'm here like, fuck, I gotta put these fucking podocarpus back here. And it's fucking impossible. It's hot as fuck outside. I got all these fucking roots. Bro, someone is dying to be able to put
they wish
plants
they could be
back
doing that. Yeah, of course.
So I think it's that reframing because like we compare all the time of like, man, if only things can be better. We compare always to better. Absolutely. But we never want to compare to what's worse. And I remember we had Andre here not here, but we had him on the show multiple times. And one of the times that we had him on was like, it's never comparing to like what you did before. It's always forward. Like you always want to be looking forward of what else you can do, what else you can accomplish. But sometimes you gotta stop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, turn around and be like, dude, look how far I've come. Look at everything that I've accomplished. I'm here upset and dwelling about things that I don't have or I don't have yet.
Yeah.
And you still want to work towards something better. You always want to, I guess those who are ambitious want to always look to prosper, progress, and always do better. But I think you'd also need to be proud of the things that you have done, the things that you've overcome. And sometimes it's not even great things and great accomplishments, even like a breakup, for instance. I talk to people, not all the time, but people around me that they're like, oh, I just got out of this relationship. It was a long time ago. And this person was like the most toxic person that they can have in their lives. They're still stuck on them.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, it's kind of an accomplishment that you were able to get out of that.
Yeah.
And people are like they're dwelling on the fact that they're still heartbroken that it ended all these things. But it's like
celebrating.
It's like these are, I think, tears that we should be happy about because they did you a favor. Like it's a blessing to feel bad that you're no longer having to deal with this toxic relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like being able to self-reflect on everyone's situation. And then I just think of like, going back to the mental health thing, how like some people, they're in it and they feel like there's no escape.
Sure, because that's all I know.
And this is all they have and they're consumed by it. And the only way out is something definite.
Yeah.
To a certain degree what people feel.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. Because, again, everyone's situation is a little bit different, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who have maybe gone to a certain point of no return. Yeah. If I'm making sense without saying the words, in smaller situations that maybe didn't merit it. I usually say like, se ahoga en un vaso de agua, like you drown in a glass of water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's really not that big, but for you, that's all you know, and it consumes you to a point that you're like, the only thing I feel like I can get out of this is the inevitable. Inevitable, but kind of, I guess. Yeah. Rushing the inevitable.
Of course, at the moment. Them. It feels like there's no escape. It's very well said, man. A lot of times our mind is like our own worst enemy. But it's important to kind of step out that and be like, oh, there's so much more out there. And I think sometimes we have to remind ourselves because we get like caught up in life and work and all this stuff. And it's like, let's stop and smell the flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Easy to compare to the good. It's something that I just said. It's easy to be like, oh, my God, this guy's doing this and I don't have this. Or he's able to do that and I don't have that.
Yeah.
But then it's like what you say, like, man, I'm so grateful that I still have legs that I can walk on. There's people that don't have any legs. There's people who have gone through some deeper shit, and I'm here, like, complaining about some first world shit.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, oh, my God, you have to plant fucking plants in your yard, in your beautiful, very large, actually, backyard. They're big. But yeah, man, like it's a humbling like experience. Sometimes you gotta humble yourself. You know.
So and I just think of like if anyone like being in that situation, what would you tell? Because it's easy for us to talk through this. One, we have each other and we have this space. We're literally here, and whenever we bring someone on here, it's refreshing. And we've even gotten that feedback that they're like, "Oh, this was actually a lot more fun. I was nervous coming on here."
I mean, that's a good thing about us having this podcast, whatever it is that we're trying to do here.
So I think it's a little, you know what, man? I think we need to toot our own horn a little bit because for a short time we were like, what are we doing? Is this going anywhere? What's the point? All these things. But it's like, I feel like some of our conversations are a little different where we don't really judge. Like we've had porn stars on here and the first red pill motherfucker would be like, those girls are fucking dirty, nasty. Granted, to a certain degree, I see it, but I mean, they're still human beings.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe
we have to really
maybe we can be that one space that we can actually treat them that way.
Oh, up until now, we always have.
That's what I mean.
Which I think everybody who's been on has always had a great experience.
I agree.
And especially speaking from like, hey, two guys, you know, in Miami, they would think the conversations would go. Right. But a lot of times it's a stereotype because it's true. Not in our case. We've kind of been, not for anything, you're right. We should toot our own horns because we've been, I don't want to say going against the grain, but also been able to kind of like have that space where we can have these conversations with people that normally other people would probably say, you know what, fuck. Like,
we're not trying to wow anybody. We're not trying to clickbait, even though we've tried different strategies in the past.
Yeah.
No, but nothing to deceive. You know, I feel like we've always been genuine. We've always been ourselves. We've always stayed true to who we are. And if anything, I'm almost self-reflecting of how we started this podcast. It's like, what do you do when you don't know what to do? And I think there's, again, certain behaviors, but also staying true to yourself, knowing who you are, and being proud of who you are, sticking to that.
Yeah, having convictions and having, what you were saying, having that almost like that base, like where you can, you know, have something that you can hold. Foundation. I think that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, that's the word that was lacking. Having a strong foundation. And in our case, a lot of times it's each other, you know, being able to have these conversations and having this platform to talk about these things. So I'm glad we were able to kind of like talk about it. Because you're right. I mean, sometimes we get so caught up in life, like you feel like, man, like what am I doing? Like, why am I? And not for anything. Like I felt like that for a little bit because like I'm not, you know, obviously, it's you know, comparison is a thief of joy. Like sometimes you're like,
why am I still here?
Exactly. And then it's like, I'm with Claudia and we're like super happily, we have a great healthy baby and we're happily married and this and this. But then it's like, you can't help but feel like we were driving over here and I'm like, man, like I'm jealous. I wish I could pull up and be Chris's neighbor. I wish we could live next door. Like they have this beautiful house. Like you start comparing yourself to other people, other friends. Gabe has a nice house, range, 2 houses. And you're like, man, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why am I like, you know what I'm saying? So you start, and it's not like an envious thing because you want your friends to succeed. But in a way, you feel like, what am I lacking? Where am I? I'm getting left behind in a sense. So it ties a little bit on what we just talked about for the past couple of minutes, where it's like, you know, you can't help but kind of feel like a little bit like, man, like I wish I was able to do these things and have these accomplishments.
Maybe if only I could have made different choices. You ever feel like that too? Like, do you feel like you could have changed certain habits to have gotten you there?
I don't know, because, like, I don't have any vivid moment that I can think of where, I regret this. And up until now, I lived a good life, the decisions, experiences, the people that I've met. I don't really regret any of it. It's not like a pivotal moment where I'm like, you know what, I should have done this, or I should have gone to law school, or I should have done this. Like, I don't have that, you know, like, I think life takes you where you need to go in many ways. But that doesn't change the fact that I obviously wish that I was in a better position better is relative because we just talked about all these things, you know, like I am in a good position. I am in that better position. But it's like you compare yourself to others. Well, could life be a little bit better than what it is, you know? And I think that's kind of human. Is that a human, is that something that's normal, you know? Because I feel like to a certain extent, humans do feel that way, you know? How do you not feel that way when you're like, okay, like, happy for your friends, but it's like, I would love that too. Am I making sense? Or
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So And maybe you have that with somebody that you know, or you know what I'm saying. So it's like sometimes you gotta like, and its perspective matters tremendously. Because again, we talked about it. Everybody has their own battles to fight, and everybody has their own experiences, and you don't know anybody else's story, you know, for that matter as well. So, you know,
Everyone has something that you don't have. So, for instance, sure, I'm in this house, whatever. I've been fortunate enough to experience a bit of the world. But if I were to write down all the places I've been to, and if you were to write down all the places you've been to, your list would be much longer.
sure, yeah, and I loved all of it. You know, like that's
No, I'm not trying to, put it like, oh, at least you have, like, no, I just think it's like, everyone has something. So it's like where you're like, oh, I don't have a house and stuff like this. It's like, you're very cultured. You've been able to travel. You've been able to experience a lot of things. Like, there's not one person that you probably cannot relate to just because of all the places that you've been blessed enough to visit and to explore and to in the time that you are at the age that you were.
Yeah.
There's people who go their whole lives that they're just working, saving they buy their house and they haven't really lived. They've worked their whole lives just to buy that house. Now they're like maybe 30 or 40 years old, maybe even 50 years old or more. Some people don't even get the opportunity to buy a house. And then they did that at the expense of nothing in return.
Yeah.
Where they just did that their whole lives to have a roof over the head that they're not even going to be able to enjoy for that long.
Sure.
Whereas, what's one thing that a lot of, from what I've seen, older people, they always look back and they're like, well, if you had one regret, what would it be? Or if you can go back in time, what would you do? Whatever. They're like, oh, I wish I would have traveled more. Or I wish I would have had more kids. Or I wish I would have started that business, but I was too afraid to. Granted, like, economic conditions change a lot. I think that's a big factor, especially what's currently happening right now. I would kind of argue there's a little bit of corruption just a little bit going on. But that's a conversation for another time. I just think, like, right now we should be grateful and we should be blessed for what we do have.
Certainly.
Even if it's just the ability to take in a breath. There's people who fucking are attached to a fucking respirator, some iron lung that they can't even live without fucking being put in that shit.
Yeah. Or if you were like thinking of so many people that are born in a country where they were dying to come over here, people crossing borders, and people were born, let's say, in like Cuba, North Korea, like so many places where it's like, bro, like you can't even escape, you're a prisoner. So it's like, you've kind of hit the lottery by just being able to live in a first world country. That's another thing.
Did you send something like that the other day?
I saw something online.
Or I think I saw something too.
It's like
a lot of it is luck.
Sure. Who are you? I mean,
where were you born and
what continent were you born? Right. So if we were both born in, like, I don't know, South Africa, conversation would probably be a lot different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying we're speaking French or something right now.
Yeah.
But it is true, you know, to a certain extent. Obviously, you're in control of your life, but a lot of it has huge impact. You know, where you're born, your family, your background. So, just the fact that we're like in the United States, already kind of hit the jackpot to a certain extent.
It's sad because like these people who went into outer space to go around the moon. Whatever. Whether it's real or not, because then you have all these conspiracy theories that they're like, they didn't really do it.
When they went to the moon, or just when they orbited?
Whatever the fuck. You think we went to the moon the first time?
I think we did.
You think we did?
Yeah.
That's like a conversation for another time. We should have a conspiracy day. Bring tinfoil hats. But they always say the same thing. Like, they look down at Earth and they're like, what a beautiful, like, marvel this is.
Yes.
The fact that we're all on this one planet, yet whether it's different countries, continents, political views, beliefs, are forcing mankind, humans. But just because we're born in different places with different beliefs, we need to now attack each other. We have to have these wars amongst ourselves, which at the end of the day, you cut us open, we're all going to bleed.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
We're the same.
So it's just sad to what degree, the world is in right now with, wars all over the fucking place on a anti-war campaign. And now, like, all these things are going on, and it's just like, it's a shame because if only we all wanted to look after one another instead of
They have the
feeling
same
like
common goal. Like we're all
the same common goal, right? And instead, it's like you have to fuck somebody over in order to get ahead. And it's kind of like, I mean, at least here in the United States, it's blatant to what it's gotten to. I mean, before it'd be like, oh, we're for you guys. And then you find out that they're all fucking you in the ass. Well, now they're like, I'm going to fuck you in the ass.
No loop.
And you're still going to get fucked. So it's like you're getting both. Like at least the other one will lie to you. So I don't know. I feel like now, people are getting more woke with what's happening. I do think that there's a bigger power, more like higher powers at play here, which are kind of putting us in this situation. But again, I say all this because it's just frustrating because like I want to believe that we're all just trying to do the best that we can.
Yeah.
Some are in other situations that are in better circumstances to be able to play in this game.
Yeah. Put yourself ahead.
But it's just this constant feeling of like someone needs to get fucked over in order for someone to get ahead is just where I feel like something down the line of evolution, I think something got fucked up there. Maybe it didn't have to get to this point.
We need like a reset. We need like a hard reset.
What is it? Cataclysmic? Is that what it's called?
Like a.
What's the word where it's like a natural disaster comes in?
Look it up because I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyways, I think we need cataclysmic
event or something like that.
Yeah. Cataclysmic. Let me see. A sudden, violent, and severely destructive event that brings about profound, often irreversible change.
That's what we need. I thought COVID was that, but COVID happened and everything just became worse. I feel like we slipped like in a different dimension. Have you ever heard of that? It's like, dude, how is it 2026?
A blip in the universe.
Yeah, I think it's like a fucking.
We hopped into the multiverse. Yeah,
it's crazy. But
have you seen how? What is it called when? Like certain things that you look at it, like the Bernstein Bears or the Bernstein Bears. Have you ever seen that? Where it's like, oh, how do you spell it? And you're like, I could have sworn it was like that. Or the Fruit of the Loom logo. It's like, did it have the cornucopia, like the whole thing? Or was it only fruits? And they're like, I swear I saw the fucking...
Isn't it called the Mandela effect?
Mandela.
And there was a kid who spoke about it, and then he died or something like that. It's a conspiracy theory. I don't know.
And then, but you see, and then you hear how certain conspiracy theorists come up where they start talking about certain things, and then once they start talking about it,
we have to make this another segment because I wanted to ask you about certain like that's a whole nother segment that we can talk about. But for now,
we can pin that for another.
I don't know. It wouldn't make sense to talk about, what we've talked about and then like, go into conspiracy theories. Did we land on the moon, dude? What did we just talk about? But
sure, we can pin that.
Which funny enough, like we talked about this before, and you brought it up, like, dude, like we're on this in 100 years, none of us is ever gonna we're all gonna be dead. We're floating on this rock in the middle of the universe. We talked about this. Where like I'm like super fascinated with like the universe and like just how large it is, and it's like infinite. You know how like it's supposedly it just expands. There's no end. So now you think about
and then there's like an observable universe.
Yes, and then there's one beyond that. So it's only what we can observe, but there's more to like. There's more. It's like I don't know.
I mean, there has to be.
It's like the universe, like our universe, is like a grain of salt, a grain of sand, and then the universe in a beach, in a beach,
an ocean or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Where it's like, bro, it's infinite, and then we're here talking about like bills and I want to drive this car and I want to get this promotion, bro. No one gives a fuck, and we'll all be dead. And so that's like a little bit of a sobering thought where it's like, focus on your health, your family, your friends.
We're here for such a short amount of time.
In the grand scheme of things, how many years do we, like we're 33, like how many years do we really have left? Like healthy years. I'm not talking about like in a wheelchair. Fucking dead.
Vegetable.
Let's say we have another, I don't know, 50 years. Good years. Like this.
We've already gone through.
We've gone to 33. It doesn't feel like it. In the past, and the older we get, we talked about it just goes faster and faster. My son's about to be a year. I know we just want to be redundant, but it's like
halfway through the year already, and I feel like it just started.
Yeah,
I just got married. It's funny because the first
first
day of my honeymoon, I'm like, we got 3 weeks, chilling. Yeah. The last day came in, and we're like, man, if only I had one more day.
Yeah,
it goes like this, dude.
Goes like this. And then there was this video of Eddie Murphy. He was like, oh, he's like, oh, 70 more years, 70 more summers, 70 more springs. Have you ever seen that video?
He's like walking around.
Yeah,
like,
he's walking
behind
around.
the scenes.
Yeah. And it's like, if you think about it, it's not that much time. How many times are we going to see each other if we only see each other every couple months? You know what I'm saying? We talked about this too. And it's like,
well, the same thing with your parents. And it's like, oh, like how often do you see your parents?
Yeah.
If I told you they're going to die in 2 months, you're not going to see them more. Like you're telling me that you only see them twice a year. So you're only going to see them 4 more times.
Exactly. So it's like, you put that in perspective. You're like, oh shit. Like if somebody told you you only have 5 more summers, you're going to make this every summer the best summer that you can think of. Yeah. And so it was like quick, dude. And you have when you have kids, it feels even shorter because my boy's about to start walking. And so, and you only have some small children for like 4 years. And after that, it's like, they can become older and they're more independent and all these type of things. It's like, so sometimes when he's like sleeping on my chest, I'm just holding on to them. I'm like, let me just savor this moment.
Yeah.
And so that you got to just apply to everything because it's really just that you blink and it's gone. So yeah, it's been a great conversation, but you can talk about, oh, I want to get this. I want to get this. Like at the end of the day, everything you really want in this life, a lot of times you already have it in many ways. I mean, for us specifically. Beautiful. You have a wife, you have your health, you have your family, you have your friends.
There's someone out there. There's someone else out there jealous of the things that you have, jealous of the problems you have. They wish that they can have that, and we're here complaining about. Oh, I can't buy a house. Oh, I want to have a better job. I want to have more of this, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, you're blessed to have the things that you do have, because other people don't have that at all. So, yeah, it's important to want more and be, it's okay to want more, but it's important to be grateful for what you do have. I think that's a great way to kind of wrap this up. It's a beautiful way. I like that. Until next time, guys. And if you guys have any other feedback or different perspectives, it's not that. If you made it this far, just hold on to whatever situation it is that you're currently going through. It will pass. One thing that I've realized, it's like if it's not gonna matter if it's not gonna matter in a year, don't spend the next 5 minutes worrying about it. Like it's not that big of a deal. Sure. Like, why give it that much attention if it's not even that big of a problem? Yeah. It's in your head, you're in it, you're in the weeds. It feels like it's consuming you. Year will go by. You've been able to get past other obstacles in your life before. This is just another one. 100%. Hang on.
Very nicely said. Till next time, guys. Peace. Ciao.